Hi, my name is Shanda Perry, and I'm going to be talking to you about eating disorders among female athletes. In the world of athletics, eating disorders are occurring more and more frequently. This is in part due to the high pressure they have on their body image and their performance. Unsafe weight management practices can compromise athletic performance and ultimately negatively affect their health. And due to the media portraying unrealistic and surgically altered women, many women practice unhealthy eating habits and behaviors to try to maintain an unrealistic body image. Higher exposure to media message is associated with lower body image and higher disordered eating. That's why I chose to discuss female athletes because they have the highest rates of disordered eating out of the general population, mostly due to the pressures that are put on them to look a certain way, dress a certain way, act a certain way. There's more eyes on them than someone like you or me. There are a lot of different types of eating disorders that can occur, but for the purpose of this project, I just chose to focus on bulimia and anorexia. Female athletes have the highest rates of those. So an eating disorder describes a subclinical condition or something other than anorexia nervosa, bulimia nervosa, or not otherwise specified. So eating disorders are usually considered a continuum ranging from one severity to another and hitting many stops along the way. Athletes often attempt to lose weight by not eating, limiting calorie or specific nutrients from the diet, engaging in certain weight control behaviors, and restricting fluids, all of which are very dangerous, especially if you go from one extreme to another or just focus on not eating at all. The first disorder I'm going to talk about is bulimia. Bulimia is characterized by regular patterns of binge eating followed by compensatory measures to eliminate the food, so purging after eating. But that's not the only method of ridding the food from the body. This includes vomiting, laxatives, diuretics, fasting, and excessive exercise. While the athlete may not eat, she will eliminate all of the nutrition the food has by removing it quickly after indulging. This method eliminates the ability to gain weight or receive nutrients from the food. I found a study that was with the National College Athletic Association regarding the prevalence of disordered eating among student athletes. They found that 23.9% of female athletes have participated in purge behaviors over their lifetime, as compared to 5.93% of males that were surveyed. They also found that nearly 12% of females surveyed had used laxatives, and only almost 4% of males had. The survey was conducted 16 years ago, but those numbers have only increased majorly among females and not males. That's because women have a higher focus on their body image aside from their performance. The next eating disorder I'm going to talk about is anorexia, which is the most dangerous. It's an eating disorder that involves extreme weight loss by refusing to eat. The characteristics of this eating disorder are a significantly low body weight, a fear of weight gain, and endorsement of means to maintain a restrictive intake of food. It's very serious because it doesn't allow the athlete or any individual who practices this disorder to intake any nutrition or calories to maintain any sort of healthy lifestyle. They just don't eat. There's no way for them to get nutrients, and ultimately it can be deadly. When it comes to anorexia in females, women are much more likely to develop this eating disorder than men are. Of all reported cases of anorexia, only 5 to 15% are men. In a study done by the Specialized Treatment for Eating Disorders, 20% of athletes surveyed admitted to being anorexic, as opposed to only 9% of women who weren't athletes. Eating disorders have negative effects on sports performance as well. Obviously, if you're not getting the nutrients, you're not getting, the benefits that food give you, you're not going to be able to perform as well as you should be. Unsafe weight management practices can compromise athletic performance and negatively affect health. Eating disorders will keep athletes from gaining the nutrition that is needed to keep their strength in order to perform their athletic tasks. Athletes feel pressured, and body image is one more stress that they have to deal with because there's such a high focus on it for some reason. Many variables have been explored in relation to disordered eating. Among these are self-esteem, body image, and internalized of cultural ideas. Research has shown that there is a notably higher prevalence of body concern and disordered eating practices in athletes compared to non-athletes. Women athletes are constantly being critiqued and judged, not only on athletic ability, but also on how well they look doing it. The media plays a huge role on how women feel they should portray themselves, on their self-esteem, their self-image. With models and movie actresses constantly being broadcast, women fall into internalization, which is the process of acceptance of a set of norms established by people or groups. The media puts high pressure not only on female athletes but all women to look as if they are ready to strut down the runway. Media attention in the form of television coverage, close-ups, and associated performances for scanty uniforms may be related to mechanisms underlying body image and eating disorder relationships. Such pressure is a common cause of anorexia and bulimia. Although there's no one reason for disordered eating, research has shown that the media plays a big role in the way women view their bodies. More often than not, female athletes are judged more on their physical appearance than their overall skill. An example being Serena Williams, the first African American woman to win a Grand Slam title, 6-time Wimbledon champion, and the only tennis player in history to complete the career Golden Slam after 30 years old. Although if you type her name into Google, you're more likely to find articles about her body, her recent pregnancy announcement, and not a whole lot about her skill or what she's accomplished. In athletics, it's common for specific events to be judged, such as cheerleading, swimming, or gymnastics. Participation in appearance-based sports, particularly at the collegiate level, may place additional pressures on female athletes to be thin. In many of these athletic competitions, female athletes' uniforms are revealing and call for a more slender body type to fit the uniform. The pressures to be thin and look physically fit are prominent in cheerleading because of the subjective evaluation embedded in selection and competition success. Eating disorders are more likely to occur in athletes who are more revealing uniforms and perform in front of a judge than those athletes who participate in sports that allow for more modesty, such as basketball that's about it. Self-esteem is defined as the extent to which a person values, approves, and appreciates him or herself, and is a strong predictor of body satisfaction than actual body fat levels. High self-esteem can come from winning a competition or perfecting a skill, and while these are positives, the athlete will strive for more. Low self-esteem, however, can have the opposite effect. If the athlete feels slightly self-conscious about her body, the likelihood of her developing an eating disorder is much greater. Self-esteem or poor body image may be to blame for eating disorders by causing low self-esteem. Eating disorders are very dangerous, and they're a serious matter, especially to athletes. They're only becoming more and more common, partially because of the pressure we put on these athletes to look a certain way. Coaches, parents, family, friends, and all others involved with the athlete dealing with an eating disorder need to know how to handle the situation and what to do. Athletes, parents, and coaches need to be educated on how to determine safe weight and body composition so that athletes more safely achieve competitive weights that will meet sport and activity requirements. One of the most important parts in helping an athlete with an eating disorder is recognition. You can't help somebody if you don't realize that there's a problem or that someone needs help. Some of the signs include refusal to eat or overindulgence in food while never gaining any weight, a fear of gaining weight, over excessively exercising, or going into extreme diets. Those are just a few of the things that you should look out for. Athletic departments could implement eating disorder screenings for all athletes at the beginning of the year and have the procedures in place for coaches and athletic trainers to identify problems. You can't fix a problem if you don't know how to address it or how to even notice it. Eating disorders are only going to become more and more common unless something is done about the way women see their body, about the pressures put on them to look a certain way, to act a certain way. Eating disorders are unsafe, deadly, and devastating. Coaches, parents, teammates, friends, and anyone closely working with a female athlete suffering with an eating disorder should take measures to reach out to her and offer help. Even a simple gesture, such as talking about it, can help. While this is a rising problem in female athletes, steps for prevention should be taken among the entire population, not just athletes.